Regular session, this is November 23rd, 2013 session. Thank you all for being here. Roll call, please, Clerk.
Mr. Bowen?
Here.
Ms. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Lanzotti?
Here.
Mayor Rediger?
Here.
Ms. Schneider?
Here.
Mr. Summers?
Here.
Mr. Voss?
Council, next order of business is adoption of the agenda. So moved by Snyder. Seconded by Summers. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have a presentation this evening by Dr. Ken Dobbins, President of Southeast Missouri State University, to our fire department. So, Ken, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's really, you can tell.
I remember.
Yeah, that's good. It is a
Notice I
great
kind of
evening.
laid off this one.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you early and talk about something that's very special to us. I've been in higher education 34 years, and I can't remember a place where the town and gown relationship is as good as it is here in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. With the city council, with the mayors, with the city managers that we've had the pleasure of working with the police department and how we've worked together, and with the fire department. You know, so often we think about the fire department only when there's a building burning, and we surely had that several months ago. It could have been a total disaster. But our firefighters in Cape Girardeau did a tremendous job of making sure that they were there, they were deliberate, and they made sure that they had the fire under control so that there wasn't a lot of damage, at least not a lot of damage in relationship to what would have happened if, in fact, it would have gone into the building. It is amazing to me that in 20 minutes, by the time it was called in, the fire was out. And when you think about that, and you think about the positioning of fire trucks and firemen and women and being ready and having the right tools, the water supply, which obviously is very, very important. We had minimal damage when you think about it to the business building, such that we actually are using all the classrooms this semester. And if it wasn't for that, we would have been in deep, deep, deep trouble. In fact, the chief said, well, you probably had fire, the temperature was probably no more than 150 degrees. It never got in the building, so therefore the sprinkler system never went off, and the 400 computers we have there, and all the files and all the records and everything that we have in Dempster did not have a lot of damage. Now, there's still a $4 million bill. Believe that or not, even with this, and fortunately we have insurance and we only have to pay $25,000 of that $4 million. But we are very, very fortunate. Everyone got out of the building. It was very orderly, and it's a tribute to the fire department of Cape Girardeau. So we have a presentation. If we can have,
Wow.
a member of the fire department. Like I said, in 20 minutes, it was out after the call. And I can tell you that what a professional job. And when people say, well, why are we getting a tax for a fire? You know, I never use them. Well, when you do, it's worth every penny. And I guess I would call it priceless. So on behalf of the Southeast Missouri State University, the regents, the faculty, staff, most importantly, the students in the College of Business. We're very pleased to provide you with this and to say thank you so much for all that you've done. I might say that the person who got this put together is the interim dean, Chuck McAllister of the College of Business. He was pretty happy. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for recognizing our staff, our fire department. We're very proud of our fire department, our police department, our entire staff. We work for our citizens daily, and this was an outstanding example of great service to our university and to our community.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you,
Thank
Ken. And once again, from my perspective, Chief, thank you. To pass it on again to your staff. It was a near disaster, no question about it. Thank you. Communications and reports, I have two this evening. Number one, several of us went to Branson this past week to the Missouri Municipal League. Myself, Councilwoman Snyder, City Clerk Gil Conrad, Public Information Manager Nicolette Brennan, and our City Manager Scott Meyer. Very informative session, as they always are, very educational. You always learn something during the breakout sessions, and you don't know good, bad, or indifferent, but really get a lot out of those sessions annually that we go to. Went to one session. It wasn't probably the best session that we've been to, but it gave a lot of confirmation that we're doing a lot of things pretty right at this point in time. So while it wasn't the most educational, most mind-boggling session that I've been to, it was good to know and get confirmation that a lot of things going on within our city staff, and council, that we're on the right track in many areas. So that was good. Want to raise up a couple people that I was so particularly proud of, and that was the announcement at a luncheon that our city clerk, Gil Conrad, is the incoming president-elect of the State of Missouri City Clerks Association. That'll be effective next spring in May, and our own Gil Conrad will be the head of the State of Missouri City Clerks Association. So, Gil, congratulations. Then also, I sat in on a session on internal communication that was put in one of the breakout sessions for all of the Missouri Municipal League staff and elected officials. And one of the presenters there was our own Nicolette Brennan, who was our public information manager. And again, very proud of having one of our staff being a leader in the state of Missouri, and how important internal public administration is. And Nicolette, we're very proud of you. And it was sold out because I had to stand in back. I didn't have a seat. But a great presentation, and very proud to see one of our own up there presenting to the state of Missouri. Now, if you come down front, Loretta Snyder and Gil Conrad, and we'll come forward to the front. Have two presentations. The first of which is from the Municipal Governance Institute. Gil Conrad, as a certified municipal official, September of 2013, awarded at the Missouri Municipal League. And here it is. It's symbolized in the state of Missouri. It's a state of Missouri recognition to Gil Conrad. So, Gil, congratulations to you again. And also to Loretta Snyder, who is a certified municipal official, presented in September 2013. I don't know how many of these municipal league annual meetings you've gone to, Loretta.
Pretty many.
Pretty many. I've been to 4 in a row, and she's been to every one of them, and I know she was long before me. So, Loretta, congratulations for your dedication to our community and to the state of Missouri. And for myself, one other quick communication. It's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We will be doing the ribbon cutting, official ribbon cutting on the roundabout at Lexington and Route W. This has been a long time in the plans, and the need has been there even longer than the plans. And really proud to go through that roundabout now, and with the additional lanes, lights, and directions, it will be a great addition to our traffic flow, Mount Auburn, Lexington, Kingsway, and Route W. And is more importantly, it was a shared project. It was a TTF project, but it was a 50-50 share with MoDOT. I think that's very, very important. MoDOT is short on funds, and we're short on funds, and we were able to get a project together where we shared 50-50 and got a very, very quality project that will aid traffic flow for our citizens and visitors in the days, months, and years ahead. Very proud of that. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning at the roundabout on Lexington. Any other communications from council?
I would just like to add, I think it was pretty amazing, all that construction. I went through it one time almost every day, and now it seems like the traffic is flowing really well. I mean, there were so many people that were skeptical about it, but now it's the pointers and the markings are quite new and vivid, and it's amazing. I think it's a great asset to us.
Okay. Any other comments from MML from you, your perspective?
Well, it was another really informative and a good meeting. I think there are always a learning situation, and what I took from it was a lot of the challenges that for the future, and how our technology is changing everything, and our culture and our society is changing, and we have to be on the front line and realize what's happening, and to be ready for it, and to be in the position to handle whatever comes before us. And you know, just like you said, it's something that's so important to us, and it's a learning situation every time.
Yep, sure is. Any other communications from council? Anyone?
So I wasn't there, but I did want to take the opportunity to a special thank you from this council and from the citizens of the city to those individuals who volunteer on the fair board and put on the fair. I think something we all look forward to every year, although it does mark the end of summer for most. So a little bit sad there in that regards, but 90,000 people over a 4, 5, 6 day period is a wonderful economic driver and a wonderful tradition, and the number of hours that it takes to put that on is not missed on the, at least I don't want it to be missed.
Absolutely.
So it's a ton of volunteer time. So thanks, guys. Nice job, and see you next year
Absolutely.
for Corn Dog 2014.
What about funnel cakes?
I did not have a funnel cake, only in the odd years.
Any other communications from, okay, Scott, from staff?
I just might add a little bit to MML. I too enjoyed it, and really proud of the things that this city has done. We did submit this year for an innovation award. We didn't receive the award, but it's just good to have people see that we are looking to do things, and then, as you mentioned, to go to best practices on personnel, best practices on finance, best practices on community outreach, and in every case, really, they were things that we were doing, or we're in the process of doing. So So that's a good feeling. You don't always want to be the first one to do things, but you don't want to be way behind the curve. And so it was good confirmation of that, and it was a good meeting.
Anything else? Okay. We have no public hearings tonight. Appearances, is there anyone to appear before the council on any item that is on the agenda this evening? Yes, sir.
I'd like to say good evening to the respected members of the Cape Girardeau City Council. My name is Tim Stone. I'm an employee of the United States Postal Service. Work at the mill processing and distribution facility on 475 Kell Farm Drive. Today's resolution of support that's on the agenda to keep mail processing operations in Cape Girardeau recognizes the importance of the Cape Girardeau area mail processing facility and the negative impact that it will have on all of southeast Missouri, including the city of Cape Girardeau, that would result from the mail processing operations being moved to St. Louis. I appreciate the Cape Girardeau City Council taking the time to review the information from the Postal Regulatory Commission that shows a 20 to 25% increase in productivity will be required to achieve the proposed savings in the current phase of the mail processing consolidations. I also appreciate the council taking time to review the information from the area mail processing study that was done for Cape Girardeau's plant that shows over $3 million in proposed savings will actually be at least a $70,000 loss without these huge gains in productivity. The study shows 23 employees in St. Louis will do the work performed by 100 employees currently in Cape Girardeau. This is not possible. The consolidation is more likely to harm the Postal Service financially than what it is to help, and the economy of southeast Missouri, including the city of Cape Girardeau, will be negatively impacted by this consolidation. All of the information shows it is in the best interest of southeast Missouri, the city of Cape Girardeau, and the United States Postal Service to keep mail processing operations in the city of Cape Girardeau. I believe the resolution of support on the agenda today clearly points out these key issues and more. I look forward to today's resolution of support to keep mail processing operations in the city of Cape Girardeau being adopted with the full support of the Cape Girardeau City Council. And on an additional note, at the study session on September 9th, I believe it was Councilwoman Loretta Schneider asked if there was a formal way for the council to voice opposition to mail processing operations leaving Cape Girardeau. This can be done by contacting the Postal Regulatory Commission. You can do this at the PRC website. A lot of information there. On September 5th of 2013, the American Postal Workers Union, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, I am the maintenance craft director of the American Postal Workers Union, Local 4088. This official complaint filed by the APWU includes Cape Girardeau in the complaint. Cape Girardeau is listed on page 16. The complaint is docket number C-2013-10. If the Cape Girardeau City Council chooses to contact the PRC, it may wish to reference support for this complaint, or it may wish to file a separate complaint. I want to thank you all for your time and consideration in placing this resolution on support on the agenda tonight. Everyone, please have a good evening, and God's blessings on your meeting.
Thank you, Tim. And we're pleased to be able to pass this resolution tonight on behalf of your organization, but more importantly, on behalf of our city of Cape Girardeau and its citizens. We're in the business of taking care of our citizens and seeing that they're served well with all the services that we have, and we're also in the economic development business, and we're interested in not only new businesses that we're recruiting to the city, but current businesses and helping them survive and grow. So you're all a part of all of that. So we're very pleased to be able to have this on the agenda tonight and pass it and move it along.
Thank you. I know all postal employees are in favor of any change that's going to help the financial situation. The issue is, the numbers don't add up.
Okay?
Thank you.
And Gail or Scott, if you could get the exact information on, to all the council, on, so they could personally, each of us could personally do that contact as per Mr. Stone's direction, and get that to us via email, we'd appreciate it.
Can you just email it to us and then we'll
certainly will.
forward it?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate you getting us the information for the resolution too.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you for being here. Anyone else to appear before the council on any item that is on the agenda? Seeing none, Eric, if you'll take us through the consent agenda.
Bill number 13-121, an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of temporary construction easements, permanent drainage easements, and rights-of-way for Veterans Memorial Drive between Scenic Drive and Hopper Road, and an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of temporary construction easements, permanent drainage easements, and rights-of-way for Veterans Memorial Drive between Scenic Drive and Hopper Road. Bill number 13-122, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission to fund the construction and construction services of T-Hangar Number 1 and taxi lane to the Cape Girardeau Regional Airport. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission to fund the construction and construction services of T-Hangar Number 1 and taxi lanes at the Cape Girardeau Regional Airport. Number 13-123, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with the Cape Girardeau County Transit Authority to provide fixed bus route services for the city of Cape Girardeau during the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with the Cape Girardeau County Transit Authority to provide fixed route bus service for the city of Cape Girardeau during the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014. Number 13-124, an ordinance accepting a permanent sanitary sewer easement on property located at 1921 New Madrid Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance accepting a permanent sanitary sewer easement on property located at 1921 New Madrid Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 13-126, an ordinance approving the record plat of lots P19, P20, and P21 of the locks at Dalhousie, corrected amended. An ordinance approving the record plat of lots P19, P20, and P21 of the locks at Dalhousie, corrected amended. Number 13-128, an ordinance appropriating monies for capital expenditures from the Casino Revenue and Sewer Fund and for expenditures related to the adjacent community allocation from the Casino Revenue Fund for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014 in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance appropriating monies for capital expenditures from the Casino Revenue Fund and Sewer Fund and for expenditures related to the adjacent community allocation from the Casino Revenue Fund for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2014 in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 13-135, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a lease agreement with BNSF Railway Company for property located on Quansi Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill number 13-138, a resolution of the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri stating intent to seek funding through the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, authorizing the city manager to pursue activities in an attempt to secure funding and identifying a project manager. Number 13-141, a resolution adopting a voluntary buyout policy for the 2013 flood buyout application for the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and authorizing the city manager to implement said policy and procedures. Bill number 13-142, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Stantec Consulting, Inc. for the Stormwater Master Plan update. Bill number 13-134, a resolution in support of maintaining the current postal processing and distribution facility in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Council, you've heard the consent agenda. Can I have a motion, please? So moved. So moved by Summers. Second by Snyder. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And it passes. Thank you. New ordinance is number 14, bill number 13-131, an ordinance amending Schedule T of Section 26-260 of the City Code by establishing handicap parking along a portion of Dunklin Street in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. First reading.
So move.
So moved by Snyder. Second. Seconded by Summers. Discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number 15, bill number 13-132, an ordinance approving the record plat of Baldwin Village. First reading.
So move.
By Snyder. Second. And seconded by Summers. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Bill number 13-133, an ordinance approving the record plat of re-subdivision of lots 1 and 2 of Mount Auburn subdivision number 5, first reading.
So moved.
Moved by Snyder, seconded by Summers. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Bill number 13-136, an ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri regarding liquor licenses near schools or churches, first reading.
So moved.
So moved by Snyder.
Second.
And seconded by Summers. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to propose an amendment to the ordinance. What I'd like to do is read the language first and then just say, give a brief explanation. What I'd like to propose is that the following phrase be added at the appropriate location at the recommendation of the city attorney as to location. And I would read, no such consent from the Board of Adjustment will permit the sale of packaged liquor at retail. And basically what that would do is exclude that a liquor store from being allowed to apply for the exemption with the Board of Adjustment. I think the intent of this ordinance is to encourage restaurants, bars and grills, the mixed use possibility. I think there's plenty of liquor stores in the vicinity, and having spoken with representatives of Old Town Cape, they agree this meets the intent of what they were seeking. And I looked at a number of municipalities across Missouri, and it's a common practice to exclude this particular option. So I would submit that as an amendment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Proffer. Discussion. I first thought when this kind of came to us, I thought of that and discussed it with our city manager of limiting it just to the downtown area. And then that, after discussion, that didn't make a lot of sense, so we went community-wide. And I thought, well, we should limit it just to restaurants, and the majority of which was food. But then there, with community-wide, there could be some unusual circumstances there. I appreciate the amendment, but I got a little concerned that there may be some unusual circumstances in this case too. I'm not sure what they might be, but there is the variance. This is the purpose of this: is the variance toward that would go to the Board of Adjustment. That I really think they should would have the wherewithal to judge each case on its own merit. Just a comment from myself. Other discussion?
Well, I can recall we did have at least one significant instance where I think this ordinance would have really eased the whole situation, and it made it work better than it did. So I would agree also. I think there's safeguards in it, in the ordinance.
I mean, if you look at some of the challenges that have been faced in downtown, I think you can see, and you can probably get evidence from the police department, that liquor stores in mixed-use areas can be very problematic in terms of traffic, trash, attracting difficulties in areas that otherwise are developing in a positive way. And so to exclude, this doesn't include, for example, if you're a microbrewery or a wine bar or any of those possibilities, even those that would sell liquor by the drink as well as small amounts of retail. That's clearly allowed under the code. And this addresses only establishments whose primary purpose is sale of alcohol in a packaged form. So I think that you have, my initial inclination was as well, it should be just restaurants, but I think there is such a wide range that there's really been one area that has been problematic, and that's liquor stores. I think most liquor stores wouldn't want to be in most parts of town. It's not really going to be an obstacle in most areas. If it's downtown, where because of density, you might have a challenge. So that's why I opted the amendment.
Okay.
Do we know if this has an impact on any existing liquor stores?
No existing establishment is affected by this ordinance.
But it potentially could if for whatever reason they would have a change in
It's not,
license.
it can't be applied retroactively. I think that's That's correct, right?
To the original.
A change in licensure, though, would
I'm sorry, the continuation of the permission would only go along with the same applicant. So if there is a sale of the business to another applicant, then to another owner, then the new owner and the operator of the...
Would have to.
Would have to apply for the same sort of permission.
And under the proposed ordinance, without Mr. Bowen's amendment, who reviews the application? The Board of Adjustment.
Board of Adjustments.
Would have the ability to deny a liquor store application if they
Right.
applied that reasoning to
Right.
any application.
They
So
could look at that standard and deny it, yes.
I would, I appreciate, I think, the attempt to maybe limit liquor stores in certain areas. On the other hand, though, I tend to agree with the mayor of really letting the Board of Adjustment apply their oversight to each individual application. So I would probably oppose the amendment.
Any other discussion?
I think I'm with Mr. Mayor. I think I like the simplicity in the way it's written. And it's essentially a presumption that it's not permitted unless the Board of Adjustment permits it. Is essentially what we're writing here. So, I mean, they're going to have a big hurdle to overcome anyway from what the standard is now. And then the ultimate appeal comes to the council, and this gives us the latitude to apply it to the unique sets of circumstances that come to us. So I like having that ability to do that. I think that's what we're elected to do. So.
Eric, I try to think of the best situation, or we talk about the parade of horribles, and I always try to think of the other side of that, what would be the best situation for a packaged liquor store. So if there was for instance, a convenience store that wanted to come into an area, a really nice convenience store that also wanted to sell packaged liquor, they would fall under that.
Well, the language in this proposal, in that proposed amendment, is such that a consent from the Board of Adjustment would not permit the sale of, at retail, of packaged liquor. So any business that could sell packaged liquor as part of its liquor license, for example, if a retail sale by the drink license could also sell packaged liquor, the retail sale by the drink license portion of their permission would be okay, but it would not allow that licensee to also sell liquor in the package.
So if Schnucks wanted to locate downtown, this would prevent them from selling packaged liquor?
That is correct.
Through the amendment, yeah.
It's not a particularly likely thing.
I understand. I mean,
Liquor vote on
but
the-
I think sometimes when we say liquor store, there's a certain perception of what we're talking about
That was my other
Mr.
flip.
Lanzotti alluded to, could be more than what we're trying to catch, or larger. And I would just agree with what's been expressed as keeping it simpler with the ability for the Board of Adjustments.
Yeah.
If the amendment if that language does not meet what your intention is, then it could certainly be amended, but that is how it is right now.
Mark, you had something else? Nope. Oh, okay. Any other discussion this is on the amendment? I think maybe roll call, please, clerk.
Ms. Davis? Aye. Mr. Lanzotti?
Nay.
Mayor Rediger?
Nay.
Ms. Schneider?
Nay.
Mr. Summers?
No.
Mr. Voss is absent. Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
5,
It failed 4-2.
4-2? Okay. We're back to the original bill without the amendment. Is there any other discussion on the ordinance? Seeing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
And you got that, Gail? Okay, thank you.
Did we read the bill?
Yes, and we had a motion and a second.
Make sure.
Number 18, Bill Number 13-137, an ordinance accepting permanent sanitary sewer easements from various property owners for the Perryville Road sewer line extension in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. First reading.
So,
So moved by Summers,
second.
seconded by Snyder. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 19, Bill Number 13-139, an ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the City Code relating to temporary caterers permits and special caterers licenses. First reading.
So moved.
Moved by Snyder,
Second.
seconded by Summers. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. And number 20, Bill Number 13-140, an ordinance accepting a permanent drainage easement from Real Estate Warehouse LLC for property located on Lot 3 of Gibney Woods 6th subdivision in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
So moved.
So moved by Snyder
Second.
and a second by Summers. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
And those opposed?
No.
Okay. And Gail got, okay. And number 21, appointment to the Gold Green Advisory Board. And we have 2 openings and 2 applications. The application of Jeff Green and David Epps, as we visited about during our study session.
So moved.
So moved by Summers
Second.
and seconded by Snyder. Any discussion? Would encourage, it's been a very active and commission and board with many people involved in a right now subject of Go Green. Would encourage those citizens in the community to show additional interest in the Go Green effort and in the Go Green Advisory Board. Any other discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Is there any other business come before us? Moved to adjourn by Lanzotti
Second.
and seconded by Summers. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.